It's raw, Melissa!
Yes, chef.
It's raw, come on!
Yes, chef.
Did you ever find that you spend way more time on your phone than you actually wanted to, and then you end up not getting things done? Maybe it's watching Gordon Ramsay, Hell's Kitchen, and I'm not even a cook. Overcoming procrastination is something that everybody struggles with. But there's certain ways you can actually overcome that. So I'm going to give you 3 very easy, very short tips that you can apply today to overcome your procrastination. Okay, so discipline. What can you do that's better than discipline? If you have just yourself and you're accountable only to yourself, that's not exactly the best system because that's limited accountability. You're only accountable to yourself, and that's not always going to be reliable. That's why, for example, in Alcoholics Anonymous, they don't just say, okay, go be a sober person by yourself. No, they give you an accountability group, they give you an accountability partner. And in a lot of things to actually make sure you follow through, whether it's weight loss or whatever it is, there's a whole concept of an accountability group. Now, I'm not saying that you need to go join Alcoholics Anonymous. What I am saying is that if you have something that you need to get done, let's say, for example, it's an ebook or a book in general, or let's say it's some kind of a job, what really helps is if you have a deadline that you're accountable for to somebody or several people. So if you announce or you state publicly, for example, on social media, that I am going to do X or Y or Z or X, Y, and Z by so-and-so date, I'm going to do it. Now, at that point, it's going to be embarrassing if you don't do it. So now you have the accountability aspect that you've just introduced to yourself. That works a lot better than discipline. So if you need to get something done, plan out what a reasonable amount of time is. Not excessively long, but something that would be just enough to make it so that you're a little bit limited on time, so you have a little bit of pressure. And then create an accountability mechanism. That could be a phone call to friends or family, ideally more than one, and that you would announce that goal and that deadline to, and to tell them that you're gonna do something. For example, you're gonna deliver whatever it is, or a copy of whatever it is, or something that actually shows that you've done it. Or maybe just even a post saying that you've done it, maybe with a photo, whatever that might be. So an example from my personal life is that over this last summer, I had to go out to Europe to meet clients. I didn't want to go to Europe. I didn't want to actually start the whole process of figuring out accommodation, figuring out this, and actually planning out how I'm going to rent a car, drive to those clients, what maybe I'm going to say to them, or the presentation that I would need to make. I didn't have any of that ready, and I really didn't feel like actually doing it. So what I did to be accountable is I went and I bought a plane ticket. That's right, I bought a plane ticket before I had anything ready. I don't always suggest this to everybody, but I know myself. So I knew that if I buy that plane ticket, now I don't have any excuses. I have to get stuff done. I have to get things prepared, and I have to get moving. And I have to do that because there is a specific deadline, the day of my flight, that I don't have the option to push back. Once I buy that ticket, I can't push it back any further. So that's an example of accountability. The thing with phones is you can do just about anything you want on there. You can go and you can watch YouTube videos till your battery runs out, and then you can stick it in the charger and watch some more. The problem is that it's not really that easy to work on your phone. So really it's a distraction. Your computer you can actually work on, even an iPad you can work on, but to work off of your phone isn't usually that practical. So it's much easier just to get distracted because, well, since you can't work on it, you might as well play around and waste time on it. And then you end up wasting way more time than you actually wanted to. So here's tip number 2, how to prevent procrastination involving your phone. Take your phone, put it in another part of the house, or shut your phone off. That would be the best thing that you can do for a specific amount of time that you've allotted to actually doing the work that you need to do. So for example, if you've set aside an hour of just pedal to the metal, you're gonna work your ass off for that hour, take your phone for an hour. Nothing massive is gonna change if your phone is gone for an hour. Put it in a different room, put it far away from you where you can't hear alerts or notifications, which by the way, you should turn off. Turn off your phone notifications when you're in the middle of working. And then just do what you need to do without the phone distracting you. At the same time, that might not be enough because on the computer, you can also go and check things in social media, YouTube and all that. So what I do is I put application and website blockers onto my browser. So I only have maybe 15 minutes out of a whole day that I can actually surf things. I can only be on there for a specific amount of time, and I can even set that up as a schedule. So on this day I have 15 minutes, on this day I have an hour. You have a blocker on your computer, your phone's far away from you, you have an hour, about an hour. I mean, realistically, you're probably gonna need to take a break after 45 minutes to an hour, so allow for that. So you work for 45 minutes to an hour, you take a 5 to 10 minute break, and then you could do another block. Now, that's realistically how it's probably going to work. It's not very realistic for you to just work a couple hours at a time because our attention spans just aren't that long. That's my experience. There's always exceptions, but that would basically be my recommendation with the phone. Shut it off, put it in another room, turn off notifications. Tip number 3, I've had it where I am really comfortable in bed in the morning. My sheets are nice and warm, right? Everything's really cozy. I don't want to get out of bed. Maybe that's on a weekend, even though I set aside things that I need to get done. Maybe it's on a weekday, maybe it's early in the morning and I want to snooze a little bit. That is really tempting. Here's a way that works really well, that effectively tricks your brain. Well, let's just imagine that you're in the summer, right, on a cliff, maybe 10 feet high, 3 meters high. You're on the edge of that cliff, and people are jumping off this cliff just for fun into the water. Now, you know that from that kind of a height, nothing really bad is going to happen. But maybe you have a slight fear of heights, or it's not something that you normally do, and it seems a bit high to you. You walk up to the edge, you look over the edge. That's kind of high. I don't know if I want to jump into there. I don't know if I can do this. Even though other people are doing it and everything looks fine, the water's really nice. I don't know. This is a little bit high. This is higher than what I normally do. So in those kinds of situations, what I do is I don't think. I just do before my brain has a chance to think. You come up to the edge, you look over, I don't know, you walk back, and then you do this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, run. And you just run. You run off that edge, and before you know it, you're already in the water. That works the same for just about anything else, because you can't go lower. Once you go past 1, next is 0. You can't go any lower than 0. So it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Meanwhile, you don't give you're already running. Your brain doesn't have a chance to say, don't do this, or let's think about this. Maybe this isn't such a good idea. No, you're already in the air by the time that's happening. Or you're already out of bed by the time that's happening. Or you've already stopped derping around on the internet wasting time, and now you're already doing something that you need to do for work, or doing a task that you've assigned to yourself. That's it. You just didn't give yourself time to second guess yourself. You've stopped that mechanism of procrastination before it even had a chance to start. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you found this content useful, let me know by leaving a like or a comment. If you have any questions, anything like that, I'll try and get to them and respond. To be notified of future content coming out, future videos, be sure to hit the bell notification when you subscribe, and you'll receive a notification. I'll see you in the next video. Take care for now.